Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to add my input on the 9 to 5 versus content creating debate because the thing is this, like, I've worked a 9 to 5 before, and then I've been doing content creating for like 10, I have to say I officially decided to become a content creator 10 years ago in April of 2015. So it ain't exactly that 10-year mark. But overall though, it's something where I can say right now, just I guess cutting straight on into it, me personally, I feel that physically, yes, my 9 to 5 was harder. Mentally, content creating is much more harder, all right? Because the thing is, I'm going to explain because I feel like some people might be all like, oh, because I mean, yeah, you can have like a physical content creating job, but I'm like, the times where I have gotten physical for my content creating career, it wasn't as difficult as it was working the 9 to 5. Like, no, when I was working at this, so I had worked at this cafe for 4 years. I worked there from 2016 to 2020. And, sadly it got shut down to, due to COVID. But, overall though, it was like, it was one of those jobs where I'm like, if I wasn't doing content creating, I think that I definitely would have tried to aim for a much more higher position at that place. Like, I definitely would have been like, nah, like, tell the managers, I'm like, hey, you guys opening up another location, let me know. Because, it was a good job. Like, overall, though, I have to say that my mind, though, was like just strictly content creating. So, like, while I'm working there, I'm thinking content creating. As I'm showing up, leaving, whatever it was, my brain was just always in content creating mode. I'm sitting down thinking, what's the next video idea that I can do, when I get home or something. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dang, I really want this stuff to work. So I'm like, do I sacrifice hours in the middle of the night of, sleeping? And that's something that I've had to, I remember when 2020, when that year started, I was doing that. Like, I was going to sleep at a later time just so I can spend a little bit more time working on content creating. So I will say that between the two, when it comes to time consumption, like, we all know 9 to 5, but with content creating, it's a 24-hour thing, bro. It's a 24/7 thing, unless you give yourself a break. But it's like, that's the thing though, you can't. And I had to say, like, you have to, like, wait until a certain amount of time with both. You can't just up and be all like, oh, I'm taking a break because work is too draining right now. Like, you see where content creators, they be taking, like, months off. At times, like, you see where a content creator, they'll be gone for years. And it's like, bro, where have you been? So, yeah, I will say that content creating mentally, it is very, very draining. But talking physical, at my old job, bro, because so here's the thing. I don't think that this was their mindset, but I personally believe that because I was the youngest, and I ain't gonna say I'm the most athletic person in the world, but I would have to say, compared to everybody else that had worked at that cafe, I would say that I was the most athletic. I just, it's no disrespect to my former employees, my friends and stuff, because I feel like they would hear this. I have to say, probably the only other person that I can think of that was athletic that worked at that place, and she was only there for a short period of time, but she had worked for Nike. And so that's why I was like, she would probably be the only athletic person. But I think if it came down to a weightlifting competition, a track competition, I'm trying to think of some other stuff, like a fast walk, a don't blink contest. I think, or maybe not one of those don't blink contests, because I'm like, I have to say, depending on where my eyes are at, like if I was wired off a Red Bull, then there is at times when I would have to do that. Like, I would have to drink a Red Bull literally every day just so I could give myself some sort of physical energy, because, bro, I'm telling you right now, working at that place, like, I just say overall, because the crazy thing is, hadn't worked there in 5 years, like, because, and it's just crazy to think that, like, it's been 5 years since I've worked at that place. I'm like, man, it's wild. It's a really wild thing. But anyways, but I still remember like what a full days of work was. All right. So, anyways, I woke up mad early because I live outside of Seattle, so I had to like pretty much catch a bus to Seattle, and then that ain't telling no long how long that will take. So, anyways. I'm having to wake up like super early because yeah, there was at times I remember there was at times when I would wake up early and I think there was a day where I showed up late. But the funny thing was that I was in good with those guys to where like me showing up late was rare. I think I had only showed up late once while working at that place. And the 4 years I worked there, it was the only I had to say any other time when I would be late, I would be late to showing up early. Like fam, I was showing up early literally every single day. I remember when I very first started working there though, when they told me I had to start showing up at 7. And I'm like, dang, bruh. All right, I'm gonna try my best, you know. So yeah, I was still waking up like 5 something, and then getting ready for work. You know, doing everything that I possibly could and stuff. I'm like, man, you know, there are some mornings where I'm like, bro, I'm I'm tired, man. Like I still remember that first week of working there, and I was like, bro, I can't do it. Like my body, no, this is too much. But by the time I was like done working there, like when COVID and all that stuff, yeah, I was like, my body, it would just be on autopilot mode and stuff. So, but anyways, but no, I still remember a full days of work there. So, anyways. Show up, clock in at like 7:40. So, anyways, clock in. And then if somebody like, cause there, usually it would be the supervisor would be the first one to show up. Then it would be, like another cashier that would show up a little bit earlier. And then it would be, me. I would usually be the, last cashier to, show up at things. But let's say it's during the time frame where we were short staffed. So I show up. Clock in at 7:40, immediately get to work. So there might be some stuff that we got to put out. There might be some things we got to clean up. You know, some stuff we might have missed the night before. Things we got to put out. So anyways, we're doing that all the way up until 8 o'clock when we open. From 8 to 10, breakfast stuff. So yeah, customers is coming through, getting their coffee, getting their fruit. What else was they getting? And then, of course, like whatever food they were serving. So I was a cashier. So anyways, customers would come through, they would pay with cash, they would pay with cards. What else? Some might have like a gift card from us. What are some other things? But yeah, overall though, like standing at the cashier, cash or the cash register, that was the easy part of that whole place. But so there might be and you know what? No, actually, if it was a Thursday, it was inventory day. So it was my friend Jack. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you guys remember me shouting out the band Monitor. So the bass player in there, because he was the supervisor. So yeah, my friend Jack. He would have to go and do his stuff, like where it would be like inventory, but it got to a point where it's like, okay, like, you know, I feel like even something like that, I would be thinking along those lines too. It's like, okay, these guys been working here long enough. Everybody needs to be doing inventory. So eventually I do remember where he had, he got me into doing inventory. And then, eventually, I think he did get me into doing inventory, or I was already doing it, but I think once when he got that supervisor position, then he just started doing it. I don't know why. It's crazy how it's like, it's been some time. Like I remember certain things, but then I don't remember certain things. But anyways, but yeah, if it's a Thursday, it's inventory. So we're going around having to count up stuff. And then, yeah, ain't no telling how long that'll take. Then there might be a day where we get like, if it's raining outside, then we're pretty much just ransacked with customers and stuff. So doing inventory, few customers walk up, having to ring them out, go back to doing inventory. Few more customers walk up, ring them out, go back to doing inventory. We finish up inventory. Now it's maybe like 9 o'clock. So then, at that point, all we're doing is just waiting for 10 to hit, so we can not like close down, but overall though, we would call it the turnover hour. So from 10 to 11, we're having to turn over like all the breakfast food into lunch food. And so I remember there was one time where them guys was short staffed, and I was having to help out the oven guy. And so, anyways, I remember there was at times where we would have to, I think it was mac and cheese that we were putting out. But anyways, yeah, we would have to do that. I remember there was some, bro. You know what? Let me let me just get through like like an average day was like a thing. So, but anyways, we're cleaning up the place, making sure like everything is ready for lunch. Then you might get that one customer that comes through and it's like, okay, fam, you've been working here long enough. I know you know when lunch is. All right, stop asking me about when does lunch start or can I get some lunch food right now. We go over this all the time. Stop doing that. All right. So, anyways, but yeah, from 10 to 11 it's turnover stuff. So yeah, we're just doing that. Then from 11 to 2 o'clock, then yeah, that's when it's just non-stop lunch. So then it's like we'll get busy at times, then it might be times when it's slow, and then with during that time frame when we were short staffed, me and Jack, we're having to like man the registers, and then on top of that having to like walk around, make sure the place is cleaned up, there ain't like no water, no sauces, no nothing on the floor, cause a customer to slip and fall. So we're having to check out that place like literally left and right. We are short staffed. All right, we don't have a third cashier, so we're having to like we're pretty much like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade out there. All right, like no, we are straight killing it. Okay, but anyways. And then when 2 o'clock hits, then from 2 to 3, whenever there would be times where it's like we might leave at like 2:50 if we're working fast. Then there might be days where we leave at 3:15. Then there might be days where we leave at 3:30. I think the latest, I remember we left at like 4 something. And so, anyways, but yeah, then we're cleaning up the place, because yeah, customers, they will waste stuff, throw things on the floor. Like, I'm telling you, if you ever seen streams of me, especially recently of playing Supermarket Simulator, you know how like the customers now, they would throw like random items on the floor, and then there'd be like dirt stains and windows be all dirty and stuff. I'm like, fam, the amount of time it takes me to clean up in that game, it's like it was times 100 in real life working at this cafe. So yeah, man, it was difficult some days. And I was like, and then I remember when Jack, he went, him and his band, they overall, I think they went to, was it Oregon or California? I feel like I gotta ask him, but anyways, he had took some time off because him and his band, they were recording their last album. By the way, go check out Monitor's music. They upload some pretty darn good music. But anyways, they had took some time off to go record an album. So there was at one point where I was just working there by myself. And I was like, dang, bro. I'm like, where is the help? I'm like, where's the other cashiers? I'm like, I need assistance. Okay, now I feel like LeBron James when, he was on Cleveland and Kyrie left. I'm like, dang, bro. Wait, no, or maybe LeBron now on the Lakers. I'm like, yeah, I think that's where I have to say where, where I was at and stuff, working at this place. But anyways, and I know people would probably be all like, bro, that's messed up. They were short-staffed. No, I had nipped that right then and there because I remember when Jack, when he did come back, there was a day, and I think it was just, they had me doing so many different things that I had enough. So there was the one manager that I was cool with where I said, hey, look, we gonna have to call for a meeting after work. So gather up the managers, because me and Jack, we gonna be there. But yeah, gather up all the managers because we need to talk. All right, so yeah, I remember I called for that meeting, and then they said what they needed to say. Jack said what he needed to say. When it got down to me, I was like, all I want to know is when we gonna hire a third cashier, because it's like it's getting hectic. It ain't getting no slower. So I'm like, you guys ain't trying to. It's been months now since we had our last cashier, and I'm like, fam, I'm not trying to have it where it's like me and Jack, we out here doing our job and half of another person's job that should be here. So I'm saying, I'm like, and I did say this. I was all like, if you guys don't hire a third cashier, you're gonna have to hire 2 more cashiers. And so I think they seen how serious I was, and they was like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Because it was like, the thing is this. I respected that job, but I just felt like that there was at times where there was a little bit of disrespect going on, and I'm like, bruh, I don't get what's going on and stuff. And I think they did say like, oh, it's hard trying to hire a person. I'm like, no, it is not. hire anybody. I'm like, hire one of them crazy people that be walking up and down the street punching signs. I'm saying hire somebody, but I can't be having it where I'm doing my job and then another person's job that should be here, and then it's like, and then if there's a day where Jack is sick and then I'm having to do my job plus his job plus another person's job, nah, bruh, there are days. I remember there was one time while I was leaving, I was so tired. I was like, whatever Red Bull that was in my system, gone. I didn't have like no leftover Red Bull. I didn't have nothing. I was on E. That was the one time where I was like, bro, I am tired. I vividly remember walking to the bus stop and being like, bro, I am done. I'm like, my body is at an all-time low E, bruh. I'm like, it was hectic. I was like, I just remember it was like, there was never like a moment that day where I had took the time to rest. So yeah, it was pretty bad. All right. So, but anyways, then, eventually they did hire a third cashier. And, but yeah, like physically, like so then there was the one day I remember where we were like majorly short staffed. Like, I remember I did cashier, stuff. I helped out the, cooks and the chefs with breakfast food. Cause I think it was, burrito day. So anyways, yeah, I remember helping them wrap up some, burritos. Then the dishwasher was out, so I had to wash some dishes and then do cashier work. I'm pretty sure they had me taking stuff back and forth to places. Yeah, bro, there were days where I was like, okay, I know for a fact this ain't on the job description, so what's going on? What's happening and stuff. So yeah, man, that's one thing about it is that I've never, like, them days where I've just was like physically out of it at that place, never felt like that at doing content creating. Now, mentally, yes, I would say that there were days when it came down to doing content creating stuff, like I didn't know what to do. Like, I have days like that a lot where I'm like, I don't know what videos I want to react to. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what game to stream. I don't know what type of music that I want to make. I don't know what TikToks or Instagram videos I want to do. Like, that's one thing about it is that I've always said that there's like an unlimited supply of just content. But I feel like now I'm being challenged with that because, man, there are days where I'm mentally, I felt like okay, hold on. Let me try to repeat this. Mentally, I feel like I feel like that's not proper wording. Mentally, I felt like that how I did when I was physically. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I feel like that's proper English. But yeah, there's been some days where like how I felt physically that day leaving that cafe. That's how I be feeling mentally because, bro, I'm telling you, like there's days where I'm like I'm actually struggling with trying to figure out what next thing to do with content creating. Plus, on top of that, the thing I had to say the difference if we are gonna over not end the debate but say like which is more difficult between working a 9 to 5 and being a content creator, in my opinion I would say being a content creator because that 9 to 5 had already existed before you had showed up, right? So it's like when you sit down, because I'm like, and at the end of the day, it's like depending on what type of 9 to 5 you get. Yeah, you could get like a mentally draining 9 to 5. You could get a physically draining 9 to 5. I guess for my own personal opinion, when it comes down between a physically like draining 9 to 5 and then a mentally draining content creating career, yeah, I'm like mentally, there's days where I'm all like, bro, like I want to take a break, but I'm like, I can't afford to take a break right now. And I'm like with the cafe, I'm like, yeah, there are days where I'm like, I just needed a day off. And I was like, I remember there was a day where I was like, okay, I just need a day off. But I'm like, I can't do that with content creating. It's like I have a schedule where I'm uploading every day. And then it's like on top of that, I'm having to work on other forms. Like there was a time period where I did want to take a break, but I couldn't. And I was like, okay, like I think that's what I had did. I just pre-recorded a lot of different videos and just uploaded that and things because I was like, yeah, I'm just, currently right now, like I was in a bad mental state on, overall, like, yeah, recording. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever had that. Well, I will say, though, I just remember back in 2020, I was going through some stuff. And yeah, overall though, it was yeah, I have to say, like, going into work while I was going through some stuff, like, if there was like more people there to where it's like they can bring me out of the mood that I was in, then yeah, I feel like that yeah, it would have been easier. But yeah, I was like, mentally, I was going through it. And so I'm like, but yeah, and then there's days where I'm like mentally going through it with content creating, but I'm like, and I can say, like, okay, I don't want to record, I don't want to do nothing right now, but I'm going to have to at some point in time. So whatever it is that I'm going through, I'm gonna have to shake out of that. And so anyways, and then that's one thing I had to say, like, that's the scary part about content creating, is that, when it comes down to doing content, just talking on my issues with the YouTube guideline strike system, like, I didn't have to worry about that at the 9 to 5. It's like, they obviously, yeah, there are things that that you couldn't do and stuff. So yeah, they were like, okay, you can't take food. But it was like everybody was taking food. So it was like, yeah, if it had been one of those things where it's like they would have fired me for taking a bottle of water, and I'm like, fam, the manager takes a $5 Kavita drink. I'm like, the cooks be taking stuff home, other cashiers be taking stuff home. I'm saying, bro, all I'm getting is a bottle of water. I'm like, you guys be getting like hundreds things of water. I'm like, I don't think you're going to lose out on money by losing $1. I'm like, bro, relax, okay? But anyways, but yeah, I had to, and then I would say that too, where it's all like with content creating, you have to, at times, like, you have to get a 9 to 5 just to support a content creating career. So it's like, yeah, I would say that content creating, to me, it's a little bit more difficult, because it's not like as soon as you get into content creating, you already have a computer, you already have the video games, you already have the, the subscribers, the views, and all that. With a 9 to 5, yeah, you have it where it's like the customers and then the supplies that you need. Now, if it was like you starting up a 9 to 5, like you creating a business, then yeah, then I would say that, that would, but I mean, I feel like that's how it is with content creating. You're starting a business almost and things. So you're starting a franchise in a way. So yeah, with me personally, I would say that a content creating career is just, there's a lot more that goes into it, because I'm like, fam, there is days, I remember there was one day where I was really sick, and I didn't know what was going on, but this was before COVID. And so anyways, I just remember being really sick, and that was the one time where I had to call out. I was like, nah, bro, I'm like, I can't come in today, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not right now. I'm not in the just pretty much in a good spot right now to be showing up to work, because if I did, I probably would have either passed out on the way there, or passed out at some point in time, because I'm like, I remember I couldn't eat. So I'm like, if you guys expected me, I just remember the one time where I did that pacer test thing in middle school, and I didn't eat, and they had me running back and forth, and yeah, I blacked out. So I'm like, I ain't trying to have that happen. So I'm like, I think what's best for me if I just stay at home and rest. But yeah, I still recorded some videos and stuff. So, but anyways, and then yeah, during the 2 times I've had COVID. And then, yeah, it was like I still had to record, stream. It might not have been for a long period of time, but yeah, I did what I had to do and stuff. So, yeah, it's just, to me, I'm like, with content creating, I would just say that there's a lot more that goes into it than a 9 to 5. It's like a 9 to 5. It's they already have the stuff. So I look at it as like, when you're getting a 9 to 5, that's like me appearing on Mr. Beast's channel or something. It's like, it's gonna be good for me. It's gonna benefit me a lot. But it's like me, doing the same thing Mr. Beast did, where I'm starting the content creating career from the ground up. Like, yeah, I would say that that's a little bit more difficult than working a 9 to 5, in my opinion, at least. Because and that's one thing about it. It's like, then you got to maintain the spot that you're at. So it's like, the thing is this, there ain't, in content creating, there isn't no such thing as going backwards. And I feel like with a 9 to 5, it's not even possible to go backwards. It's like that, unless you get fired, then it's like, okay, then yeah, you brought down yourself. But it's like, with a content creating career, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you have to like constantly be doing something to just keep your the subscriber count up high, your view count up high. It's like, yeah, so me personally, like I said, yeah, me personally, I have to say content creating, it's a little bit more difficult than a 9 to 5. But anyways, but that's the thing though. Everybody's gonna have their own personal opinion. I know there's gonna be people out there that are gonna say, oh well, my 9 to 5, and I ain't gonna try to take that away from anybody. If you say that your 9 to 5 is more difficult than a content creating career, that is your opinion. I am not going to take that away from you. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.